good. It's been quite a bit on, and I'm done. The remote's all the way over here. It's been a long time coming. Wanted to do this for a while, but I realized that I kept streaming a whole bunch of other, like I didn't stream the other games as often. So I wanted to take a break from this game, and by the time I wanted to get back to the game, I had decided that I wanted to take the entire month of October off, or at least most of October, for playoffs, because I either couldn't find time or I was just paying too much attention. It just was getting overwhelming. And here I am back. Restarted streaming yesterday, and now I'm getting back to some Ace Attorney. Last time, it's pretty sad. We lost our detective, and now it's time for the trial. Once again, let's see how my voice holds up today. There's that old familiar feeling again. The crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air. There's a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there? I suppose? Yes, I think so. Yeah, hi, how's it going? Can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. A little more courtesy, if you please. I do apologize. Wow. Way to be blunt. However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury's been selected. What? Oh, alright. I mean, I guess I'm fine with doing this traditionally, like we did. A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. A closed court. Good morning, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes, well, if there's no jury, at least we don't have to worry about you-know-what. Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruto? Alright, victory for science, you must agree. Well, it should be, like, black underneath that hat. It looks normal now, but it's probably gonna be black underneath the hat specifically. To be perfectly honest, so much has happened yesterday that, well, we completely forgot about your little hair problem. What to one man is a little hair problem? It's to another, a day of drinking dubious potion. Of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion. Oh, okay, I was confused with the sentence. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of him. And are you? I see London's still a great detective is as active as ever. We never like get to see the two of them together on the same screen. I think this is the first time. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, unless I'm forgetting something, the Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. I completely botched that sentence. I don't even care. And whilst I might not agree with your methods, there's at least one point on which I would readily commend you. What an honor. That would be... Your eye for a good lawyer, sir. Mr. Sholmes, well, thank you for the compliment. After all, behind this lawyer there is a very great mind. My own. Of course. What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Lord of Margin! Oh, hi, it's you too. Gina! I thought it was That's not wardens. That's officers. What's that on our arm? A morning band, I suppose. Oh, is that like? Does that mean she's lead detective now? Father, should you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I figured it'd be postponed. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. I should be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see. Oda! Oh, yes, Gina? Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? This Reaper blow. Everyone says it was him what? The boss! I'm sorry, Gina, but I just don't believe that. Well, if it weren't him, who was it? I don't know that yet. This is gonna be a long trial, isn't it? I don't care who's causing what. The Creeper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. If it turns out it wasn't him what killed the boss, then God help him. Fiery eyes indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing. At least, that may be some solace to the... At least that may be some solace to the deceased. Aww. Please, Oda. Yeah, whoever did this, who's the boss? Oh, Gina. I feel this useless. There's nothing I can do. They ain't gotta find it done this and make that much pay. Counsel for the defense of the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way to the courtroom at once, please. Alright then. Here we go. It's time, Mr. Naruto. Put it on Zeke's. One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law. And one who lost the man who helped her escape this destitution? Is that how you say that? All that misfortune, all that pain, on course to collide headlong into this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. I think there might be a case 5, where the truth is revealed. We're going to have to look it straight in the eye. I don't know if it's a case 5. It's that seems like they're hyping this case at the last, but there's still a lot of unanswered questions we have regarding the first cases. Like the literal first cases of each game. It's still a lot unanswered. There's literally no one in the court. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Barack Von Seeks. Counsels for the defense and prosecution. Are you ready to begin? Oh, there are audience members at least. The defense is ready, my lord. The prosecution is more than ready. Kazuma-sama. I gave Kazuma like the same voice as Ryunosuke, so I'm probably just gonna do a little bit more like stern for him this time. I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... I never pictured it happening like this. Never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder. Well, I guess the other thing is, regarding the 5th case, if there is one, there's no jury in this case. So, it's likely that we will get a 5th case with a jury. That's why I feel like The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions to the judiciary. Accordingly, they are to be conducted as a closed trial, with no members of the public present, by Her Majesty's direct orders. What? Her Majesty's. Well, sorry to say, but the Queen is dead. At least in our modern age. So it's His Majesty's. I guess back then they had a queen. Whatever, I don't care. Rest in peace, the queen. May long live the king. How will that work, my lord? The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Jeez, it took a while for me to figure out what word that was. Therefore, as you see, the jurors' benches will remain vacant today. No members of the public are present. Might I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord? Oh yeah, that's fair enough. They're members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. Okay, so it's just like the soldiers that were in the first case. Members of the judiciary. Oh my, it's a very unusual trial already. There's of course another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings, which I must elaborate. The counsels for the prosecution and the defense are both aliens of Great Britain. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain. That's what I mean by stern. Hopefully that's enough difference. This is the reason why I had to come to Kazuma. Very well, let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor SOG, your opening statement, if you please. Now we get to see all these new poses. Certainly, my lord. Whoa, jeez, there's a giant scroll. The incident took place on November 1st, just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That was 5 days ago, or 7 days ago, exactly a week ago. Jeez. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there, an old, single-room rental property. Yes, Inspector Tobias Craigson, a name known very well indeed to this court. Not the least for his miraculous resolution in one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. Prosecutor case. How sure about the time of the incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all reported the same time. Yes, that's what Gina's told us too. A number of witnesses. I have here a plan of the room. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly. Well, at least it wasn't painful. How was the range been determined? There were scorch marks around the entry room. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. The powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range. I see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. Not the first time we've seen a point-blank shot in an ace-turning game. Now we got the autopsy. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. Have you managed to ascertain the owner of this gun? It's been so long, I actually forgot all the evidence we had. The freaking Redhead League. Yeah, that's right, we were trying to find this dude. I have an introduction. This freaking... Why do we still have this? And what? Why is it like a ticket stub? Dismissal notice. Huh. Yeah, I don't think that's not really relevant right now. Frame photo of the woman. There's the gun. Seems like this thing could come out. Did I check this? Pretty sure I checked this. Why does it say I did check it? I was told that for the past 5 years, they've been engraved with a unique serial number. Huh. I don't think I remember this though. Oh, but as far as I can tell, there's nothing like that on this gun. Which tells us that it must have been issued longer ago than that. Oh, okay. So there's just saying it's an old gun. Yeah, I don't remember them talking about a serial number. Okay, well here's the candelabra and the scorch mark from I'm pretty sure it was a bullet that struck the candle. The friggin' red hairpiece. Ugh. Why is this here? Policeman figurine. Oh yeah, the policeman figurine that does like a little dance and becomes a key with the friggin' the key coming out of his butt. Picture, aww. And then the autopsy report which you just got. Hold on, I need to close with this. Shot on the chest at close range from the front. It's death. Scorch marks the part of injury. Alright. Recalibrate the gun and use matches as standard. Issue firearms. Okay. Managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm. I'm not sure if I read that or not, but I'm just gonna go back about it quickly. No, my lord, not conclusively. Bravo, Cosmo-sama. I'm not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There's a candelabra bouncing on that wall, and the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. We noticed that too, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Thank you for a thorough report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You'll submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Okay, there's the floor plan now. Is this Fresno Street room the Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to Mr. Hugh Boone. With his precious little furniture inside, it is generally in a poor state of repair. So what on earth was Gregson even doing there? Presumably he was investigating some case or other. When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. So the details of the case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. A name, please, counsel. Naturally, the accused himself. Okay, Lord Von Zieks. As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well. Let the defendant take the witness stand. Oh, geez, it's weird to see you right there. So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Brock Von Zieks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord Von Zieks, that you heard Prosecutor Assage's opening précis. I did. This song is so good. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. So I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why were you there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question? And what exactly took place? I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord Von Zieks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come. But since you became known as a Reaper, part of me has been dreading it. Oh. Your formal testimony then, witness. Let's begin. I was investigating Gregson. My inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. Wasn't the death instant? The testimony was the whole truth? It was. So you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants? And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse. So you were my mute apprentice. Yet it turns out you have a way with words. Prosecutor Asoji. It appeared to be a singular tale indeed. Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's gotten into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all. Because he's a prosecutor. Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination. I've got a bad feeling about this. Yes, my lord. Oh gosh, sticking out on the bottom. Alright, well, my voice is fine. I'm gonna press everything. You investigating the inspector. What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say. Sorry? I identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in the case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I need. Is the court to understand then that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene? No, I was privy to his movements in advance. How? He stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. Okay. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office? In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offense. As it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Von Zeeks? I was aware of the possible consequences. So in summary, you're investigating the victim. And yet, you refuse to tell the court why. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath. Would I ever think I could defend this man?
Hold it!
I love that. That's so good. Had you ever been to that address before? No, never. I only learned of the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There's no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything. At 5 p.m., the sun had only just gone down. It was still been reasonably light outside. The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside, so it was extremely murky inside. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. There's no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there's a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I couldn't say for certain. Like this I never heard of. There's all. It looks like a teacup almost. There's a small desk in the room just here. Yes, I remember. And there was a oil lamp on it, as well as the frame photo. Yeah, the photo. That's right. That's where I found the photo. When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate. What did you find? Nothing. Never actually reached the desk.
Hold it!
So, who fired the gun? I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room. say it was very dark in there? Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is, I didn't sense another's presence. Ha! Then could it be the gunshot originated from somewhere outside the room? No, that's out of question. Oh. Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I can smell the gunpowder. Ugh. This is going from bad to worse. And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor? Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. That was careless on my part. It's just like Edgeworth picking up the gun after Yanni Yogi shoots it, and I'm sure. Yes, I'm saying words I shouldn't, but most people playing this probably, or watching this, probably played Ace Attorney 1 anyways. Presumably then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took in your hands. In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold. There was no smell of spilled powder. What? But then, where on earth is that gun? Is the gun that was fired? Willis, I would like to oblige you with an answer. I'm afraid I can't. I, too, would dearly like to know that. Jeez, this case is getting really complicated. A man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume? That's right. One of the street merchants working on the Fresno Street. Oh, okay, so it wasn't like the murderer cried out and to try to distract the opposition or whatever, or try to distract Von Zeeks. Who are these merchants? None of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarding window of the crime scene. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying that they heard their gunshot. We're gonna see all three of those one time. And without the thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened. Yes, Gina told us about that yesterday, didn't she? They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. They almost gave me a heart attack in the process. But you're supposed to be the Reaper. The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. A policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred. Anyway, a man's scream drew my attention in that direction.
Hold it!
It's just appeared before you? What do you mean by that? What way did the body appear? Honestly, can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there up until that point, and suddenly, there it was. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand? At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open, and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more. Oh, I see. After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Most curious circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere. I have no idea. I knew that.
Objection!
Oh, jeez, you're saying there's the objection. Surely this court has heard enough. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Brock Von Zeeks, is lying on multiple fronts. Oh, shut up, computer. What? What is that supposed to mean? What is this music? I'm gonna listen to this for a little bit. Is this like... Is this like Cosmos theme? I like it. Good gracious, counsel. The defendant is lying, you say? In his testimony just now, He claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. That's proven by this candelabrum. That does not prove anything. Oh yeah, I can hear remixes of his theme in here. If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown away by a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly a different length. As you can see, only the candle appears to have been struck by the bullet. Only the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long, which means the others were like burning. You can reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together, which begs the question of why only one has ended up longer than the others. That must have been because the particular candle was extinguished while the others were still burning. Ah! That's right. When the candle hit the bullets, it obviously went out, but the other two candles would still have been burning. So the fact is, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown off by the candelabrum. The accused claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now to the next lie. There's more? The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime beforehand. What? That's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings. Yes, that's right. You saw it too. It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they include a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? This is starting to sound familiar. And there's a common thread linking all the documents on that board. Indeed, what is this common thread, Counsel? They all relate to cases prosecuted in court by Barack von Sieks. All of them? And furthermore, all those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. Good lord! Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today, because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. Ah! Jeez, we didn't know this. Oh no! In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout, his base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? Yet the Reaper would claim never to have been to his own secret hideout? No one would believe that. No, the truth is, you've been looking at this backwards. Backwards? Explain, Counsel. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine. By the Reaper's hand. What? Why is he standing like that? Order, order, order. Very well, I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Barack von Sieks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with Prosecutor Asserdy's contention that the defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. Damn it. All I've done is state the truth as I know it. Kazma's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experiences as a defense attorney to build his prosecution case, and it's formidable. Counsel? You will submit the board that you just showed the court as evidence. I believe it to be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. So you're saying none of the people on that notice were alive? None of the defendants, I mean. So does that mean that that case does not include the Gina case? Or like any of the cases from this game? So I'm just taking a drink. Or the last game, I mean. Last game on this game. You know what I mean. And now the prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot and went running into the room. Very well, leave the witnesses in. The defendant may step down from the witness stand. Certainly, my lord. Oh, okay. What the? Well, it's you! Really? Come on! So, witnesses, state your names on occasion for the court.
Names? We don't use names. What does that do for the likes of us?
Oh, it's like Little Red Riding Hood.
Yes, we're just free and easy, so we live where we want to live.
I guess I'm all making as I walk out that Fresno, man. I feel worse than a first one. Ah, would I be right in assuming that all three of you make your living by selling wares on the street?
I thought you little tidbits to pass the place, you know?
Jaunty little tidbits.
Got enough of those, that's what you say. Right up your gun, is it? 6 pence the price, that are penniless.
Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now?
Look, don't tell me you're not interested.
Try the man. Give him the money and see what it is. Pay the man counsel. No! Alright, 6 pence it is.
You want to get it. You got the rest of it. Just between us, a young couple on Slight Street have just had twins.
Congratulations. Is that it?
No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? It wants to spread, but that bit's up to you in your mouth, of course. I've got no idea now. What our news had to say one? 6 pence a piece of days, you see, curious.
I am curious, yes, but what's going on just under that fat bottom lip of yours? Namely that unusual bruise or whatever it is poking out from underneath your collar. What? Huh. Okay, I didn't notice that. Okay, good to know. Maybe that might be important. What about the next witness, isn't it? What name do you go by and what do you sell?
Venus, that's what he calls me. Funny at it. I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids.
What? You're selling firecrackers?
6 pence a pop. What do you say?
Oh, jeez, you... Oh. You weren't exaggerating with little. They actually sell.
Oh yeah. It's like you just can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers.
It's gonna be... You're gonna be selling a lot of those lately. Within a couple months. Because... This is apparently like at the beginning of November. So within a couple months, you'll be selling those for New Year's. So good business.
Especially if they get 100 and they can blow up in the school.
Not the most savory of ideas, young lady.
What do you say then, eh? Will I buy with 6 pence for a pop?
Wait, what? You want me to buy one?
Tell you what, I'll let you know a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you can blow up the whole courtroom.
Try the woman.
Give her the money and see if she's right.
Pay the woman count. What, you want me to blow up the courtroom? Alright, I'll buy one. What the hell was going on?
Lovely stuff. Right then. This is something a bit extra, just for you. The Venus special. Only 600 pence.
No! 600?
It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there?
And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the Old Bailey either. Oh, we actually got the firecracker. Thanks. Well, Actually, you know what? That's useful because that's our gunshot. That's our mystery gunshot. And the last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell?
Think of me. Think all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I think. And I sat there on the street, watching the world go about me. They call me the observer. Have you got your sandwich? You know it.
So you don't actually sell anything.
I'm just there as a problem happens, they say. I can advise I do and think what it means. And I don't actually sell anything. No, come to think of it.
Pity. No more purchases today, please. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems. They could conduct their business on Fresno Street from the morning until night. I knew we were gonna recognize at least one of these guys. I had a feeling, and always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. Though I thought it was gonna be a jury member, not a witness. I see, and thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witness to the crime.
Well, I've been back up to this, I thought, just because I was...
Venus and Miller, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw.
What I think is all one I see is light and shadow playing with our eyes. Is any of it real?
What was his name before? Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. Jeez, man.
So the whole time was set to finish and everything from the moment they went into the building.
It was this dynamic that had other people had got inside that we heard that big bang.
Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Cause I'm gonna wait to go and see what happened. I ran to the room where he was sleeping, the gun out, standing on the dead body.
This kid had dead me. So I ran out to hide a kappa. If these witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything, who do they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused Brock von Zeeks.
From the paper, I know what he looks like. It's between us, folks have stories like this. It made me self a tidy some already.
But wait, the room was just one of several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. All those flats in Fresno Street are unoccupied.
Cause it's now damp, dirty, and expensive to boot.
The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. We know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone. The testimony of the court I just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than a defendant could have committed that crime. No! No! Thank you for your condor, my lord. Counsel of the defense, you may proceed to cross-examine the witnesses. Yes, my lord. In a closed court like this, without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. I have to break down this testimony somehow. We're doing this traditional. What the heck?
Hold it!
When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Von Zeeks?
I suppose the likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. Let me tell you about it. You know, we're not coming fast, that's for sure. And shit.
So behind Inspector Gregson, did they arrive at the same time as each other?
Not at all. First, my metal gun started killed. A good 15 minutes before they heard the gunshot. The
victim arrived 15 minutes before. Are you sure about that?
It seems likely that I forgot I feel it with a bright red hair like that, does it?
Bright red hair? Well, I knew he's wearing that wig.
Yes, his hair is really redder than my flame fire receiving.
That very red mop still burnt on the inside of my eyelids. It is. Wait a minute, you're saying the man was a redhead?
To listening to him, he was a redhead. And a big thumb because of him as well.
Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Seems like the person you saw wasn't, in fact, Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. And you're gonna say he's wearing a wig. No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct. What? Just have a look at this photo. Look at this graph of the victim taken at the scene. Oh, sure enough. Oh, gee, that's sad to see. That's so sad to see. Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, alright, and that's the wig. And a red hairpiece. Ah! Of course! We saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we? We still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece, though. So why on earth would he have been wearing something like that? Color does seem to suit the man. One might say. What? No! The photograph will be submitted as evidence, please, counsel. Jeez, man. And what became of the trunk that the redheaded victim was supposedly carrying? I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene. So it just disappeared.
Do you expect us to have been watching the building every second, do you?
I need a drink from this guy's voice, man. At least it's only one guy's voice is kind of tricky on my voice. Instead of like everybody. We definitely saw him at the dock going in though. No question about it.
Hold it!
You're definitely based on Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know why you call it Venus though. By which presumably do you mean the gunshot? I saw these little things, don't I? I don't know what a gunshot sounds like. I always thought it would probably sound a bit like this, doesn't it? But you say that you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant enter the building. That's right. And almost straight away. Bang! It went just like that.
It's what the French call a fait accompli. With the reapers around, the people are going in the ground. I mean, that's what he does, doesn't he?
I think we get the message. The Reaper couldn't allow the inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clear motive for the crime. Yes. Certainly an immensely credible motive. Excuse me. Great. And at that point, he ran inside, is that correct? Jeez, man.
Hold it!
So, when Gossip ran to see what had happened, did you go too? Jeez, what's with me burping all of a sudden? Oh, me! Hampered, see? All the signs are that I can't move very well. You were way behind, presumably, with that sandwich board around your neck and the big sign in your hand. A great burden you bear. Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but is it possible that you and I have met before? I'm not anybody, me. The signs are what make me who I am now. I sign, therefore I am. So you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just under a year ago, then? He's nervous. Nervous and cold at the same time. mistaken, but I believe his trembling has intensified, Mr. Naruto. Yes, I agree. He's clearly been through a lot. Turn out King Henry streaking at the Black Widower's arms is just there. What does that sign even say? Like, hot? I can't really see over the text box. Hot blank hero? Hot or Luo hero? I'm gonna give up. Oh dear, you made him hide behind his sign. Life is full of surprises.
Hold it!
So then, you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right?
That I was. Kicked the door open like a professional did. And yelled out, "What's going on here?"
Ivan Zeke's claims all he heard was a man scream, though. When it was dark inside the room.
No, not dark at all. The candle's burning on the wall.
Really?
There was a feather collapsed on the floor. It's ridiculous. It's the first thing I noticed when I got inside.
I see. Though Lord Van Zeke claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall.
Next thing I noticed, something's dead. Someone's standing right beside the body.
The accused, Barack Van Zeeks.
That's right. The face reader said. It was a little shocked around tonight, but I'm no really living coward. I don't recognize I'm even a god instead of myself.
And apparently Mr. Cold Guy has something to
Excuse
say.
me.
Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? Jeez. This is really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. Just 2 slices with no middle. I don't know what you can want with me. I think that maybe you just remembered something. I heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean. What I think is, we're all nothings really. I try to dress something else, but at the end of the day, we're all just street sellers.
That's how you sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Makes you want us to make you into the real sandwich.
He saw the Reaper. He fell clean over on his backside. That's it.
Okay, I told you to keep that a secret.
He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled on all fours. That's all I wanted to say. Well, at least that's where the scream came from. Mr. Gossip, is this true?
The floor was dead slippery, that's why. Blood in my head and I filthy blood today. Yuck.
Ew, gross. What? A pool of blood?
Listen here. Even when I was thrown on the floor, I still kept giving me the code instead, and done said hang out.
Let's go back a little. See, you got blood on your hand?
I did, happens to be the best, happens to be the best I have some time. So that's good. That's the number. Even just between us, can't we?
No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information to your formal testimony.
If I must.
The witness will amend his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once. Oh, are we gonna like present the picture we just got? Because does it have blood on it?
I slipped over and got blood in my hand, so I quickly wiped it on the floor.
Oops. Wiped it on the floor, eh? Well, I say... Oh, there is blood on the floor. Okay, well, actually, I need to check this out. This is the wick. If you had an idea, Mr. Naruto, you're staring at the end of the string of the fireworks. Sorry, it's just that the Venus. It's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering, what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like? Huh. Should I find out? What? But you said it could blow up the courtroom. Alright. That was a fairly sizable bang. My ears are still ringing, Mr. Naruto. It sounded almost like exactly like a gunshot. Yeah, I knew that was I knew that instantly. We still have it somehow intact. Yep. Almost kind of like. Pretty sure Lost Judgment started with like firecrackers. I might be wrong. I didn't actually finish that game. I need to go back to finish that game. Notice board. Oh, we can actually just flat out look at the notice board. Like this is a freaking stick figure. There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back years on here, aren't there? Paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. Look! Out of interest, the most recent thing here appears to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh? Same Redhead League advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked out. Oh! Do you remember there's a red hairpiece of the scene too? Inspector Gregson exposed the Redhead League in. Jeez, man. What the back? Oh, there's the red handprint. Oh, what's this? Well, I'm glad I looked. Mr. Never heard of look. Oh yes, it's a smudge of sun kind. In fact, it looks kind of like a handprint. The color, that's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing. Well, we found our handprint. Gee, I wonder what we should do here.
Objection.
Well, I'm glad I went back and checked. So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that?
Well, what else would you expect to have me done, eh? Does it really matter?
Objection.
The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. What exactly is the defendant asserting?
Objection.
I did not push the button there. If you listen, you'll find out, Prosecutor Asaji. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was a handprint of blood left very clearly at the scene. On the back of this notice board. Ah, yes, indeed, indisputably a handprint in distinctive color blood.
You did right. That's my right hand, I know it anywhere.
Oh, it says hot actual hero. Okay, that makes sense. I see. The witness very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. Any handprint on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection.
Now, if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor, in that case, it's quite possible the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Just look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim and in an upright position. Even if it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, it would have been a considerable distance from the body.
I fell over when I came across the body. So I was basically right next to the corpse. Not on the other side of the room.
Was the notice board used to block the body? In other words, the defendant's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very definitive contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. I take it you formulate a proper hypothesis, counsel, regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint found at the scene? I have, my lord. This discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by false testimony. Another hand, but no, it's the board moving. The real contradiction here is that the handprint itself is the handprint itself, not what it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious, so it is! If the witness had put his hand against the board, the fingers should have been pointing upwards. What? What does this tell us? It tells us one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor, as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection.
Why are you objecting to yourself? You said what, and then you objected. You're claiming that someone moved the noseboard after the shooting? Tell the court who? I don't know that yet. The point is, when you consider all the testimony that we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. That would be the position of the noseboard at the time of the incident, my lord. There's a stern look as he put his hand on his hip. So, counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the noseboard was situated? I don't know exactly, but I'm gonna say like right about here-ish? Like around the body somewhere. I don't know if it was like here, or if it was here, or if it was like at the corner, but I'm just gonna say right there for now. This is the only possible location. Immediately adjacent to the doorway. If the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier, okay, good, I was right about that. He said that when he entered the room, it was dark, and he couldn't see the body.
By a heck.
If the noseband had been here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. Oh! Way over there! Okay.
No.
And the light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection.
But the accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Or in his precise words. Oh. Oh, I see what happened.
You didn't know about cutting ass. I mean, I was talking about me and a mistake. It was me that kicked the door open.
If you look again at the floor plan, consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with force. Okay, that's what we're claiming. Okay. That can't. Okay, I'm surprised that gave it to me then, because I said I was right next to the body. The door struck the noseboard, knocking over, and making the victim's body visible. Good gracious. My client has told nothing but the truth. He simply described what he saw. Order, order! Counsel, how has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it. Right? Is that the right word? Is that the right word? Into the position where the police, myself, and my colleagues saw when investigating the room. I just noticed that the stool is broken. Witness, what have you to say for yourself?
Me, my lord.
You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses in the stand will testify again. You will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime.
Stop looking at your glasses. You're over your glasses at me. I get the message.
Alright, Mr. the Moving Board.
I don't know anything about that. I'm not fight. This is my hand on that phone.
I got clear about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything. not just a bystander, me, just a science and crosswords of life.
That's not me, remember? He's got a hazel screams blood.
What? I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot. So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see, we can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened.
That's right, yeah. It don't pay to expect too much.
It's an endless quest for knowledge that's destroying the world. That's what I think. Do you? Really? In any case, as this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could have possibly committed this crime is Brock von Zeeks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Very well, then you may proceed, counsel. Let's go. So you admit that it was the board you wiped your bloody hand on. That's the wrong voice.
Must admit, it's there plain as day for all to see. It's there plain as day for all to see. Smashing right on my right hand.
Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint. So you arrived at the noseboard and pushed it into the corner, did you?
And, I didn't know where that tornado looked. Don't look like a powerful word, man.
Well, did you see anybody else moving the board?
I got here. I could talk here, but even I had my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me. Looking at me by himself standing up at me. And the specials there are light inside either. My brother moved another clear.
In other words, this witness is unable to give definitive testimony on that point. Yes, so it would seem. I don't think I've ever seen anybody light a torch or light a match on their butt before now. When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks?
Yes, what else? There's a priory school just around the corner. See?
Priory school? Hang on, I need to look this up. Is that like middle school? Priory school. It is. Let's see. What is a priory school? Oversubscribed. 11 to 18 co-educational school that serves the local community. Okay, mixed 11 to 16 school. Okay, so it's okay. I think I get it. I think a priory school. It seems like what I could find. That priory school is like middle school and a high school combined, I guess. That's what I'm guessing. Okay.
Cheeky little son and sons have got the plan to blow the school to kingdom come.
Ha!
So I've been telling them, letting the teachers know what they're up to.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. Why I need to hurt the school and all the kids are playing with these dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids will come back to buy more.
Everyone's happy. See, the life of a merchant. That is devilish, and I love it. What a racket. Because sometimes the teachers give me a little buzz. Thanking me for letting them know. It's the busy of life. Selling explosives. Venus is a cute full goddess indeed. No, damn bad voice lies my kind of thing, really. I'm so good. Why didn't you just throw that in the plain of day? Also, you have something to say about this for some reason.
Excuse me.
Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? How's this all relevant, anyways? If I said it was, can we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts. The philosophical thoughts. The hell? Let's say there was a great liar. The great liar said without batting an eye. Telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Ooh, this was a lie too. Or the truth. In this case, she's not a liar. It's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? Not entirely sure, to be honest. But, it seems to me that you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you? He stares over to her. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep it on like that. And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. Then I'll give you something to tremble about. You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet and innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. I was rather cold anyway, so burning in fires would warm my poor, poor soul. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Oh, out here of the room with a gunshot seemed to come from. But someone who grabbed out of my hands and stands behind him, too. I need a drink. That red lighter over there. Do you mean to say that you did in fact take yourself to the scene of the crime after all? What do you, eh? I said I was gonna take barefaced lies, didn't I? Yes, you mentioned it. Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? New fire packs such a punch. So you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief. You have to mention it. I suppose perhaps. I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah. Either you clearly remember it or you don't. Decide. I shall consider fitting punishment for this perjurious act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord. Of course.
must have been having a little peek into the room where it all happened.
That is the wrong button. Excuse me.
Hold it!
Make a habit of lying, do you, Mr. Venus?
Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair. If you want my advice, though, take everything I say with a big pinch of salt.
Alright, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you?
Oh, please. That's never... I can't think of anything more terrifying.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know?
Did you touch anything at the scene?
Oh, please. As if I would. I mean, there's a dead body on the floor.
The truth, please.
Alright, just a bit then. I look to see it. Is anything I can sell? Thank you, the place I went so. There's nothing to write home about.
Right. Now I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you?
Oh, please. Has everyone touched anything like that? Just a few bits of loose changes that I had.
The truth, please. What the heck is this?
Alright then. I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. So I flipped the plastic thing.
You're telling us that you did move that board? Oh gosh, he's angry.
Think that did slip out yet, did it? You daft bluff bluff!
I don't believe it. That's the thing. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps, to sell?
Oh, please. I should be so lucky.
That's the truth! Now!
I might have found this old pocket watch under the nose board, I suppose. But a bit of junk like this can't be worth anything. Ah!
Oh! So was you, was it? You're the one who took it! Gina! Young lady, may I remind you where you are? Now what? Now what there? That was a present to Inspector Griggs from the yard for a big case he solved 10 years ago. Prosecutor case, no doubt. Boss used it to wind every evening without fail when he was waiting for his group to come to the pub. I see. I see. I swiped it off him once a blind and he was upset. Give me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in his last 10 years. Polishing haven't wanted it. It meant the world to him, that watch did. Possibly not the best thing to go diving for then.
It's not all that, though.
Jesus, music now is kind of somber.
I took it to bed that night to ask how much it was worth, but the other they wouldn't touch it. But give me a penny for it. Say I wasn't looking. After I had it worthless, he got it.
Ah! I knew I should have left it! That watch must be submitted as evidence at once.
Oh, please, just... So long as you promise to give it back when we're done.
Not a chance! I'll swipe it for you miss on it again! That's enough! Hand the watch to the bailiff forthwith. Now, children, watch your manners. Good lord! The glass appears to be broken. Wow, what? Okay, well, it won't came out of being broken. More than likely, it shattered when the inspector was shot.
Didn't take any more either. Which is why Tibet didn't want it. What the waste, eh?
Yes, indeed. It appears to have been stopped at the hour of 5. Ah! Exactly when the gunshot was heard then. Well, there's definitive proof. To support the prosecution's claim, of course. Oh boy. Oh, rest in peace, watch. Well, it appears that the mystery of the moving noseboard has been solved at last. As I predicted, it had been had very little bearing on the case. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, counsel. That's the wrong button. Jeez, all that we just got a pocket watch, right? I guess we could look at it. The glass for the face really is badly cracked. Look, what a shame when the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. I imagine Mr. Schultz could repair it, don't you? Yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this. He's a man to have around, in fact. I can't remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Neville. Not an odd job man. Huh. It has a slot at the bottom. That's a tiny little keyhole here. You see? Oh yes, that's probably for the winder. Use the winder mechanism. That's a little unusual, don't you think? Gives you just the right key to wind it, I'd imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something I've been like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole? It'd be wonderful if we had a key. Let's check carefully over what we've already found. Do I have to recheck it? I might have to recheck it. What is this? A tiny little stub sticking out from this small hole here. Look. There must have been a little knob or something like on that for saying the time. In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of this watch, probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? Yeah, it definitely looks broken. Yes, of course. Which could mean that there is a small part of the watch still at the scene, maybe. Okay. This watch is gonna be like integral to the case. I know that this is gonna say something new, isn't it? Yeah, I've definitely seen all this part before. We open this, we get the key. And it's the same notch. The same type of notch. Mr. Sato, you think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch? Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose. Oh, wow, we're just putting two pieces of evidence together. I knew it. A perfect fit. And look! Inspector's watch has started going again. You better stop it! Ah, so it obviously just had... So it has obviously just not been wound up, that's all. Oh... Whoa, what is it, Mrs. Otto? Well, the watch isn't actually broken at all, after all. I'm feeling it could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. I have to better start thinking deeply too. Is this actually going? No, it's not. They stopped it. Having wound it up, it started ticking again. Okay, well, all that we got a lot of information about the watch. No, I am not ending stream here. I'm just saving because it's been a while. I know I have full health, but I'm just gonna save anyways.
Hold it!
Okay, I haven't actually pressed this yet, but you did go to see what had happened in that room, didn't you? Surgery is my whole world. It's all I know all of it. I have to make it my business to know if I want to hold my sign up high. So you did go to see what had happened. It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it? Did you notice a nose board in that room? If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the sign family. The funniest part of it, my mind was trying to trip it out of the sense of a rivalry, I admit. I need a drink. needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo simians. Does that mean that you didn't notice the board? I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me, just sucking at the crosswords of life. In which case, just who was responsible for moving the notice board? Hold on, what did she have to say about... Hold on. Okay, that's not relevant to the watch.
Hold it!
What exactly do you mean by that?
Oh, come on now, don't tell us you're making on this. He looks like he hates everything in the world, that fella. Not nose buds, that's the one that he hangs. You can see his eyes.
I can't say I'd ever noticed.
I can tell you one thing for free though. I never took my eyes off the man on the floor. Or off the reaper. No, if I was sucker.
Sorry?
Well, I was that scared. I couldn't. You never know what a feat like that might do if you run away, do you?
I mean, he's raised a good point. If you didn't take your eyes off the defendant, you should be able to confirm categorically whether or not he was the one who moved the notice board.
I can't. I can swear to that. Good to understand. Here's the thing up there, I get it.
Right. Glad we cleared that up. What happened to the face that screams bored? Feel your pain, Kazuma. Okay, well, you're talking about time. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? Maybe the notice board fell over, or maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over, or maybe I didn't. But the Reaper's fate is sealed either way, because of the gunshot we all heard. So your fate is sealed too. My fate? That's right, the defense is fated to lose. The prosecution is to win. In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So we can just find some problem with that part of their story. Maybe possible to change all our fates. Of course. That changes the fact that I heard what I heard. That's it. Not much to go on. As you pointed out, Mr. Naruto, there's no question that the notice board was moved. So somebody must have done it. Yes, and we know it was the girl. It didn't happen at the event, so maybe Kazuma's right. Okay, blah 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 blah. We know. I'm not even gonna talk about this because we know the girl moved the board. I forgot her code name. All right, so. Alright, so what did we get? Well, I mean, we got the watch, of course. We have this. It sounds like a gunshot. Someone bought one of those from her. That's not relevant. You definitely looked at the thing. Oh, I didn't mean to go that far. I feel like that last statement has to be important. Problem is, do I present... Problem is, do I present, like, the firecracker? Or do I present the watch? No, he's talking about the firecracker, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, because the firecracker can sound like a gunshot, they can manipulate what's going. They can manipulate the like any bystanders.
Objection.
No? Okay. That last statement was contradictory in a number of ways. I think you'll find. Number of ways you say. You're getting penalized. That's my lord. It bites my heart. Yep. Take this right to your heart. Ouch. I made a bit of a mess with that in a number of ways. Well, then in that case.
Objection.
Yeah. It was either one or the other. I'm glad it was that simple. Even if I took some damage. I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh! At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch. A key? And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built. What? Order! But counsel, the watch was stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock. Yes, which is when we heard the gunshot. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection.
Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when this crime was committed.
Objection.
No, that doesn't hold. Why not? Recall that what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago. Wind up every evening without fail. Aww. The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well. Yes, that would be entirely reasonable. But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day. I expect that. In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't mean. What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead. Order! Counsel, this is the most extraordinary claim.
Objection.
Extraordinary isn't the word, it's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before. Do you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Well, on that subject, there is something rather surprising. There is actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. Oh, wait! Hang on, I didn't even notice that. Let me just double check that. Oh yeah, sure enough, it just says time of death blank. Coroner Maria Gorey. Oh no, that's unfortunate. That's right. What do you mean?
Like I said, I put them ahead of the great pile of blood.
Yes. So the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh.
Guess I'm fast on me.
Objection.
That blood could be explained in a number of ways. Could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured out over the victim's body after he... What the heck are you talking about? Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available in every street corner? Why are you saying learned friend? We're the same. We're the same race. Ah. Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. Oh, I think I've been told previously that Scarlet has no way to identify blood as human. Oh, okay. They hadn't come to that part yet. Problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So you're saying they could have sniped one of the chickens from Hope's Peak Academy? One of the they could have just used chicken blood like. Actually, that probably would have been pink, but whatever. So then, chicken's blood. No, come on! No, no, come the freak on! I did not predict that. No, I seriously did not predict that. Come on! Ah. Chicken's blood could not have been used, for example. Oh man. It's certainly possible that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all. Jeez, man.
Objection.
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it, though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, isn't it beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all? Please, what are you trying to say?
Us do not know what we heard. And what we heard was a alarm bang that came from that room.
I am me. The street's still there. The livelihood. I wasn't there at the chill voice for a minute. And why do I still have the whip? I don't doubt your ears, sir. But all you can state with certainty is that what you heard a noise.
Yeah.
Explain yourself then, counsel. Okay, now we're getting to the firecracker. A noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with a gun. I'm just kidding.
Take that!
Something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot. Good gracious, the very fireworks that was sold by the witness. No, hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? The pretty little firecrackers only making that pop anyway. I didn't see what she said last. Now 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. You're trying to suggest that somebody set off one of those firecrackers off at the scene. I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for those peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection.
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gunshot or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Brock von Zeeks. Well, imagine the fireworks could pop. See? That's why people like it. I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection.
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb. Oh, no, you gotta reference that? Good heavens, a bomb? Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like. Mr. Naruto, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident. No, wait, it's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device. Yes, exactly, a time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left. So, are we gonna get the whatever his name was back to this Mr. Robot dude? Your extravagant claim would have to be substantiated with evidence, counsel. What proof do you have to suggest in any way that a time device was employed to create a gunshot style? Crap. I have no idea. Let's look at the picture here. Wait a minute, hold on. The candles. If the candles got to a certain part of the wick, if there's like a string that was attached to the bottommost candles, then this device could have been set up. Like when the candle got low enough, it could have like the flame of the candle could have lit the string and set off the device. Okay. Well, what else do we have? The watch. I don't think the watch is relevant here. I think we're gonna go with the candelabrum.
Take that!
As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in this candelabrum has been blown off. Indeed, because it was struck by the bullet, which presumably passed to the victim. I don't think that's possible, my lord. What? Not possible? Why? Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken. Oh, he's talking about that. There are. Goodness, yes. But is not the case. Is it not the case that there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound? That's right, there was. But as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when that target is at very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Ah! Which means that the scorching on the candle can't possibly be the result of a gunshot. Oh, that's what we're saying. The device was strapped onto the other candle. You're suggesting it came from the fireworks? The fact that there's such visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and the firecrackers were joined together. Oh, that's a good way to put it. The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers at a point partway down the candle. After the killer had left the scene, the candle slowly burnt down along with the other two, until eventually it ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud bang. And that is how these three witnesses came to believe they'd heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock. Well, what a plot. This implies that the victim could have died earlier than what we've led to believe, the previous day even.
No. Don't just hold your horses. I'll not hear the sound of the victim going to the building.
I could not leave colored hair even if I wanted to. The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Obviously, anybody could wear a wig. So the person that these witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred could easily have been someone else entirely, wearing the red hairpiece. Someone else? You mean to say? It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer. What? Who's that? Oh, very impressive, Runeskate Naruto. Kazuma, I'm really quite amazed you come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had always making it a great defense lawyer? I also know of the lack of the time of death in this report. Stark admission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Order, order, order. Prosecutor Asoji. What on earth do you mean by that statement? I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today. So we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense's assertion about the time of death based off the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture. What? But, while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore. Oh, okay, good, you're on our side. Well, certainly, I would agree with you. What immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing, and where did he go on the day before the incident? The day before? Do you know? The inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard. Even within the yard. However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I say it's fairly apparent which case this man was pursuing. Wouldn't you, my learned friend? I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating. Yes, I agree, surely. My lord, the defense believes that it can explain to the court the case that was being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of death. What, are we talking about the missing persons case? Very well, counsel. Present your argument to the court. What evidence is suggested of the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident? That is... Oh, that's just the Redhead League. What evidence do we have? I mean, like, what's gonna... I guess this one, because this is showing the missing person. I'm gonna say that. Can't say that I find your answer suggestive of anything particular. Oh, crap. Other than that, perhaps it is utterly wrong. That much you have clarified most expertly. What? Okay, fine, I'll try the Redhead League. Congratulations, Renuski Neverheardo. You deserve a reward for your expert display. Ah! Did you just draw a Kurama on me, my friend? I think, Mr. Neverheardo, that there's one particular piece of evidence that really does stand out in showing what case Inspector Gregson was investigating. My lord, I have the answer now. Very well, okay. Fine, let's try the Redhead League. Oh, the wig probably also works too. I believe this red hair piece points to the answer. Yeah, I just presented the article, so I think either one or would work. You might assume that it was part of it. This guys used to carry out an undercover investigation. Surely not. Such a brightly colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector more noticeable. Yes, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League. The Red-Headed League? So, you already worked it out. What on earth is this about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen? The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception. What? Uh-oh. A deception of what nature, Counsel? They've been targeting redhead men across all of London and tricking them out of small sums of money. Oh, it's a greed thing. 2 men were arrested with a misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. Oh, those guys. My lord. The defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once. 2 redheads? Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece. It was very likely that he had direct contact with these criminals. It's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events. Probably should have added a space there, but oh well. I concur that we cannot in good conscience leave this new avenue unexplored. No doubt, Mr. Naruto. Well, it's another possible line of inquiry for us at least. The prosecution will make immediate arrangements for the charged men to appear. bring these two redhead league conspirators before me and press SG. At once, my lord. Very good. We have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned. Okay, this is a good place to stop. Are we gonna go into the lobby, or are we just gonna... Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a good place to stop. I'm fine with this. Alright. Save here. And save here. Alright. Next time, we talk to these redheads. I still feel like there's a lot to this case we don't know. But we'll get on that next week. See you guys then. Bye-bye!